Dear students, welcome back to computer science class. In the today's class, we will discuss the next chapter. So that is functions. Okay. So first of all, function is nothing but it is a collection of statement, or it is also called as a sub program. Okay. Function. So it is a set of instructions, or it is a collection of instructions to perform the particular task. Our functions are also called as a sub programs. Okay, so this function is classified into the two types. So first one is library function. Library function. Second one is user defined function. User defined function. So in generally we call it as a function. That function is divided into two types. First one is library and second one is a user defined function. So here the library functions are nothing but the functions which are already developed. With the help of header files we can access the header, we can access the functions. Those functions are nothing but the library function. Here library functions are the inbuilt functions. It means that someone has to define the function. We are the users to use that function. For example, if you want to perform the mathematical operations like square root, like square and trigonometric functions. Okay. If you want to perform these functions compulsory, we can include the header file, that is math.h. In the math.h, it consists of some inbuilt functions. Those functions are nothing but the library functions. User defined function, the name itself indicates user. User means those who are writing their own functions. That is nothing but the user defined functions. First of all, the main advantage of defining the function is it is easy to write. First point. Second one is it is easy to debug the errors. So, for example, if the program consists of 200 lines, if the error will be occurred, means you can concentrate on the entire program. If the program is divided into the sub programs, that is modularity we call. So, this 200 lines I can divide 50. So, based on the particular model, so I can divide the program. If any error will occur in the first function, means we can concentrate only on this function, not the remaining functions. The main advantage of using the function is readability of the program increases, and second one is easy to write, easy to understand and easy to handle the errors. Okay, so that is the main advantages of using the functions. Okay, so now we have to discuss the library functions. So library functions are the inbuilt functions. With the help of header files we can access the functions. For example, so first we can consider mathematical functions. If you want to use the mathematical functions, compulsory we can include math.h. If you want to write include math.h, means you have all rights to access the mathematical functions. The functions are pow. Here pow function is used to square the values. For example, if you want to perform 2 to the power of 3, we can use POW. For example, POW in the bracket of 2, 3, it is exactly equal to 2 raised to 3. So this is the first function, and second one is SQRT 25. If you want to find out the square root of any number, we can use SQRT. Here SQRT of 25 is 5. In the same way, we can use the sine, cos, trigonometric functions. Okay, and another one is max, min, average, like that. So if you want to find out the maximum of two numbers, and minimum of two numbers, and average of two numbers, so whatever the functions available in the mathematical header file, we have all rights to access the functions. Okay, so this is the first category of library function, and second one is string function. And one more thing you have to remember is, so if you want to access the library function, means directly it is not possible to access the library file. Compulsory we can include the header files, because that header file consists of functions. If you want to include the header files in your program, means we have all rights. That's why compulsory we can include the header file. See here, second one is string function. First of all, string is nothing but it is a collection of characters enclosed within the double quotes. There is a difference between char of A and char A of 10. See here, char of A means it will accept only the single character. For example, if I write PUC as an input, if I give the PUC as an input and I can declare the variable like this. Here A will accept only the first character, that is P, because PUC consists of 3 characters. Here char of A means it will accept only the single character. The value of A is P only, it will reject the remaining 2. Then if you want to store the particular names, then we go to the string. String means it is a collection of characters. See here, char A of 10 means maximum you can store the 10 characters in A. 10 characters in A. For example, XYZ. Char A, I can give the input value as PUC or XYZ. XYZ is stored in A. Okay, here string means it is a collection of character, or it is a single dimensional array of characters enclosed within the double quotes. It means directly you can assign the value char A is equal to 10 XYZ. If you want to assign the string to the particular variable, that time you have to use the double quotes. Otherwise, there is no need of using the double quotes. With the help of command prompt at the time of executing the program, if you want to give the input as a string, means that time directly you have to enter the name. No need to write the double quotes. If you want to initialize, means compulsory, that time you can include the double quotes. Okay, string function. String means it is a collection of characters enclosed within the double quotes. The functions of strings are, first one is strlen. strlen. Here strlen means it is used to find out the length of the string. Here the length of the string means the number of characters present in the given string. Here A is a one string, so I can write like this strlen in the bracket of A. Its answer is 3. Here the result must be in terms of integer, because the length is always in terms of integer. str means string, len means length, string length. It is used to find out the length of the string. Okay. Second function is strcpy. It consists of string 1 comma string 2. See here. Here str1 value is xyz and str2 value is ABC. If I apply the strcpy for string 1 and string 2, see here, strcpy means string copy. It is used to copy the string from string 2 to string 1. Here string 2 value is ABC, string 1 value is XYZ. Here str values are copied into the string 1, means automatically str1 values will be deleted, because str1 consists of only the 3 characters and str2 also consists of 3 characters. Okay, first character is stored in place of x and second character is stored in place of y and third character is stored in place of z. and the resultant string is str1, that is ABC. Suppose str1 value is xyz and str2 value is ab. Here string 2 is copied into string 1. In the string 2 only 2 characters are there, that's why only 2 characters are copied in the place of xy. Z as it is, it will be displayed, and then the result is abz. So this is the use of second string handling function, that is strcp1. Third one, strcat. strcat means string concatenation. Here concatenation indicates joining. If you want to join the two strings, here string 1 is different and string 2 is different. If you want to join the two strings, means that is with the help of strcat. Here the joining of string happens at the end of the string 1. Here string 2 is joined at the end of the string 1. See here xyz is there, here ab is there. Here ab is joined at the end of the string 1 with or without space, that is without space, because here there is no spaces. That's why the result is xyz ab. That is strcat. Fourth one, strcmp, str1 comma str. Here strcmp means string comparison. String comparison means it will be compared character by character. So we already know the ASCII value of character. Always the ASCII character is ASCII value is 65 and capital Z is 90. In the same way, small a is 97 and small z is 122. Here x, y, z is there. String comparison x, y, z, here ab, or you can take abc. And the result must be in terms of integer, or you can print the message also. See here, it will give the 3 results. If both the strings are equal, the result is 0. If both the strings are equal, the result is 0. Here str1 value is capital ABC and str2 value is also capital ABC. If you take ABC as a input value for both the string, capital A value is 65, capital A minus capital A 0, capital B minus capital B again 0, capital C minus capital C again 0, the result is 0. Positive, another result positive, string 1 is greater than the string 2. Here small xyz is there, here capital ABC is there. Obviously small x is greater than A, small y is greater than B, small z is greater than C. This time string 1 is greater than the string 2. And negative, string 1 is less than the string 2. Okay. Fourth function. Fifth function is strLWR. strLWR. It will take only the single input. String lower case. It is used to convert all upper cases to lower cases. Here strLWR in the bracket of capital ABC means the result is a small abc. See here. Suppose if I give A and B as a capital letters and C is small letter, means only A and B are converted to small letter, not the C. C as it is displayed, because C is already in the lower case. Again it will not convert to upper case. Okay. strLWR means it is used to convert all uppercase letters to lowercase letters. Next is strUPR. strUPR. It is used to convert all uppercase letters to It is used to convert all lowercase letters to uppercase letters. Here small xyz is there. If I apply str upr means the result is capital XYZ. Next is strreb. It is used to reverse the given string. If I pass xyz means the result is zyx. Okay, so these all are the functions of string. If you want to perform these functions in your program means compulsory you have to include the header file as #include string.h. Suppose if you are not including this means it will generate error message to the user because it does not have a right to use the string functions without including the string.h. Because whatever you have to perform using the library functions, compulsory we can include the related header files. Then only we have permission to use the particular functions. So that is the advantage of using the library functions. See here, library means already defined. Someone has defined the function. We are the users to access the functions with the help of header files. Okay, in the next class we will discuss some more functions. Thank you.